way to die.
Clear.
Yeah, directing was it was an amazing, really amazing experience. It was scary at first. I mean, I was very honored to have been asked to direct, but at the same time, I've been an actor for so long, almost 20 years, and I'm comfortable in that environment, being an actor. To be on the set, but to be working in an entirely different capacity and one with a very different set of responsibilities was really kind of nerve-wracking. But once I got into it, I really enjoyed it. There's something about being engaged in that level of when you're directing, you're involved in absolutely every aspect of the show. Whereas when you're acting, you're only involved in a very specific aspect. So it was really invigorating to be able to go through that process and work with the crew and my fellow actors in a different way. And I was very lucky that I have such a great Sanctuary has such a wonderful crew and a wonderful cast, and I was very lucky to have cast guest stars who also were wonderful actors and really brought a lot to the episode. And also the episode, the script that James Thorpe and Damien Kindler wrote for me was a really special one. So overall, it was a really magical experience, and certainly I would love to do it again. God, there's been so many. I can't even think. If I have to think of one from this season, it was the last day of my directing. Amanda wanted to do something nice for me and get me a gift, sort of a congratulations on my sort of directing, wrapping my directing episode gift. So she hired a singing telegram for me, and the man's name was Leonard the Leprechaun. And she figured, with me being, having an Irish connection, and that would be a funny thing. And I suppose it would have been, but when Leonard, the lucky leprechaun, showed up on set, he was looked nothing like a leprechaun. He was about 7 feet tall, and he had a little top hat on, and he was singing James Brown's "I Feel Good," which I don't know where the Irish connection there. I don't remember James Brown being Irish, but it was quite an awkward moment. The song went on for quite a long time. I mean, God bless the guy. He was doing his best, but I think it was a strange time because we were all sitting around not sure what we should have done, and I did my sort of classic thing when I don't know what else to do. I just took my pants off. So then I took my pants off, and then he started,
That's what I walk into?
Yes. Yes. Anytime I say I'm going to take my pants off, Paul McGillian walks into the room. But that just made so then me standing there in my boxers with my pants around my ankles, it made it even more awkward because the guy just didn't know what to do, and he wasn't sure. He doesn't know that obviously Leonard didn't know the joke of me taking my pants off, so he just thought I was taking my pants off for some other reason. It really got quite awkward. So yeah, I guess that's probably, in recent memory, that's probably the most awkward moment. Please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. I spent so much time on my hair. Now it's ruined. You've ruined it. I did about 3 or 4-ish songs in the musical episode. No. I mean, I guess I did 3 One of them is sort of a half a song, sort of just a little piece of a song. But yeah, singing that musical episode was really fun to do, and I'm glad it's not like Glee. I think not to take anything away from Glee. It's a very popular show. And,
it's not Sanctuary.
But yeah, Sanctuary is a much different show, as you can imagine, and I think the really wonderful thing about this episode, one of the many great things, is that it really organically ties the story into the music. I think a lot of times when you see episodes to television episodes that do musicals, there's sort of a gear shift. There's the story, and then we sort of shift into the song, and then go back to the story. Damien wrote this episode in a very well written episode in that the music really works with the story, and it really is connected to the story in a very natural way. So I think when people watch the episode Fugue, they're gonna just find themselves watching a musical number without sort of realizing it at first, because it's gonna sort of really gradually come in. I love doing the dancing episode, but I'm glad that we do the musical episode, and it's a true musical episode. It's much different, and I think that's what's sort of, I've said this for a long time, but one of the many great things about working on the show on Sanctuary is that we get to do these different things, and this overwhelming commitment by the creators of the show to tell stories in a different way, in a new way, and that just makes it really exciting for everybody who works on it, and I think Fugue is certainly an example of that. Andrew Lockington is our composer, and he writes all the music for the show. And yes, he did write the music. I know Damien and he worked together on the lyrics and the music for the episode, but it was really a great thing to have Andrew there. Andrew came to Vancouver for the recording of the music when we were in the recording studio before we started shooting, and it was really comforting to have him there. He's a music guy. He knows how to work with people who are not very experienced at singing like me. Being in the studio and being in the recording studio, it's an intimidating thing. So it was great to have Andrew there, kind of guiding us through, and yeah, it just made the experience that much. It was still a very challenging experience, but without Andrew there, it would have been impossible for us. Yes, definitely, we're going to learn a lot about Will's past in season 4. In Homecoming, the episode that I directed, which is episode 406, 6th episode of the season, we go right into Will's past. We're going to meet Will's father. We're going to see flashbacks to the history that Will has with his father and what his home life was like, from right at the time when he was a little boy to present day. So certainly we're going to get a glimpse into, more than a glimpse into, Will's past in this season, and it's again, that was another very special aspect of the show, of that episode, particularly working with Al Sapienza, who plays my father, and just being able to play the character of Will in different stages of his life was really a lot of fun, and I think the fans are going to really get a kick out of the fact of they're going to learn some stuff about Will and his past, and see him as a younger man, and see me wearing a very, very good mullet wig again. I was a sci-fi guy. I don't know that I was a traditional sci-fi guy. I'm very specific in my sci-fi tastes. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and the original three, whatever, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We won't talk about the new ones. I don't want to get upset. But yeah, I really was influenced by those movies as a kid, and I think they're a big reason why I got into the film business and why I really kind of gravitated towards the genre of sci-fi. And certainly, yes, I'd love to go to Comic-Con as a fan. I actually every year that we go there, we've been there now 4 years in a row, and every year that we go there, I sneak down to the convention floor and go to the Lucas, the Star Wars thing, and check out the toys. And the problem is that I end up buying lots of toys and bringing them home and putting them around my house, and then people come over and they think I'm just a man-child because I have toys all over my house, and I guess they wouldn't be entirely wrong. But yeah, what's wrong with playing with toys? I'm 35 years old. I can play with toys. It's fine. They're Star Wars toys. It's cool, right? I mean, it's nothing weird about that.
We hereby appoint you as acting head of the Global Sanctuary Network.
I think certainly Magnus chose Will for a reason. I think there's a great respect between the two characters, and there's a great bond between them. They really rely on each other. They depend on each other, actually, I think. And so yes, I think when Will makes decisions, and when Will is headstrong and sticks to his guns, and when he tells her things that upset her, I think at the end of the day she knows that he's got her back and he's on her side, and he's really really committed to the sanctuary, and he doesn't act out of ego, but acts out of a belief in what Magnus has built in the sanctuary. I think it's vice versa too. Will expects nothing less from Magnus. So yes, I think even though it causes tension between the two characters often, it's something that they need to do. You need to have someone in your life who will tell you the truth, maybe even when you don't want to hear it. And those are the most valuable friends you can have. And I certainly think that's the situation between Magnus and Will. In season 4, I mean, we've seen tension between them in the past, but nothing like what you're going to see in season 4. There's really Will's a guy who's really committed to the sanctuary, and once he dives in, he does it 100%. But I think you're going to see Magnus is forced to be very secretive this season. She's got a plan. It's a very complex plan, and she's got to carry it out, and she can't really let anyone know, and that's very hurtful to Will. And I think you're going to see the cracks in the foundation of that friendship form a little bit, and you're also going to see Will start to doubt for the first time whether he made the right decision. So yeah, it's more than ever. I think you're going to see some very difficult moments between Magnus and Will. Well, I will say one thing about the two Wills. It's just like, I guess one Will is just not enough. They just need to, and I don't blame them. The more the merrier, I think. But yeah, no, that's coming up to. Martin Wood this season wrote an episode that's coming up as episode 7, Icebreaker, in which there are some identity crises going on, and it was a very cool episode to shoot. It was actually not cool because we were boiling. It's a winter episode. We're trapped on a ship trapped in the ice. And of course we have to wear parkas and hats and gloves and everything. And of course it was the middle of the summer, and we were boiling to death. But but yeah, it was a very interesting episode to shoot in that, you know, technologically the way we were shooting some stuff with the doubles of Will and some other characters. So yeah, it was very interesting. I don't know if I would use the word goofball. I think I would go with more of the term comedic genius. But yeah, I love to goof around and as we all do. I mean, we're constantly having a great time and laughing, and I think that's what makes it special, a special job for us. You know, not only is it a show that we like and we like to work on, and an interesting show to shoot, and the stories are really exciting to act, and the technology in which we make the show is really fresh and new. But also we have a great time doing it. You know, we're every day on set, we're laughing, and we all really get along with each other, and it's because of that I think it makes it special. And I don't know that the audience necessarily consciously can see that when they watch the show, but I believe that even if you kind of subconsciously get it, that when you watch the show you can just tell that we all really like each other, and we all really love what we do, and I think that comes across in the show. Yes, Amanda and I are just about to go off to do a movie together. I can't talk much about it. It goes into production this coming November in 2011. So it's a comedy, and yeah, it's a wacky comedy that I'm producing with a company called Foundation Features, and I kind of roped Amanda into coming along with me and doing it. We just decided that we're just gonna work together solely from now on. That's all we're gonna do. But it's really great. It'll be exciting to A, work on a comedy, a flat out comedy, and B, it'll be really great to be able to work with Amanda, but in a completely different way, with, you know, not as Will and Magnus, but as two other characters. And so I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna take a little break after we leave France, take a little break, and then go right into production on that movie. So look for that next year.